I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, today we're reading from the book of 1 Peter chapter 4. Let's focus on verses 1 through 3. Therefore, since the Messiah suffered in the flesh, arm yourselves also with the same resolve, because the one who suffered in the flesh has finished with sin in order to live the remaining time in the flesh, no longer for human desires, but for God's will. For there has already been enough time spent in doing the will of the pagans, carrying on an unrestrained behavior, evil desires, drunkenness, orgies, carousing, and lawless behavior. Let's admit it, can we? Let's just be honest with ourselves. We are a selfish people by nature, right? I've had 4 children. Every one of them turned out to be I, me, mine. Every one of them selfish. I, me, mine. I, me, mine. It's not that I don't love my kids. It's just who we are. We're sinners. When we have little beings, we don't have little angels who become sinners. We have little sinners who grow to a point where we distinguish that, oh, wait, now that they can talk to us, I realize it's all about them. And that's okay when they're dependent upon us, but we just have to realize we live in an I-centered culture. iTunes, iMovie, iChat, I. Those are all useful programs on my computer, but, to me, they're also icons that remind me that we live in a self-centered society. They're called I this, I that, because the advertisers know, the manufacturers know that we are selfish and we want to know that this is the one for me. And we've all seen YouTube. Remember MySpace? The list goes on. Corporate America has your number, and they are targeting your selfish nature, especially now that AI is kicking in. They know you and your buying trends better than you do. And all they want to do is just sell you products. And I don't blame them. These vendors, these manufacturers, I don't blame them for my selfishness. They're just responding to market research that identifies your personality and your buying traits. What I should do is blame myself for being the average customer. And by convincing us that the world should revolve around us, advertisers then condition us to consume without any accountability. By the way, have you ever seen a car commercial that said, this is the most elegant automobile on the market? But remember, you have a mortgage to think about. No, it never says that. It tries to tell you your life is incomplete without it. They're not trying to help you. They're trying to help themselves by selling you stuff you don't need. Merchants don't care about your personal well-being. They just want you to buy their stuff. And they're feeding our egos, and we are devouring every morsel that they serve. I have a question. What happens if we would resist the trend? Like, we might become out of style, it might be out of step with the culture, but I bet we'd also be out of debt. Did you know America has more credit card debt per household than any country in the world? Statistically, you are at least $2,000 in the hole right now. Why? Because we just won't say no to our flesh. And Peter is telling us there has already been enough time spent feeding the flesh, doing the will of the pagans. It is time that we resolve ourselves by the power of God's Spirit to starve the flesh and make it meek, that is, make it submissive to the Lord's will. And of course, there's going to be pain, and the flesh is going to howl like you stuck a dog with a stick. But let us spend our remaining time on earth denying the flesh, obeying the word of the Lord, and sharing in the liberty freely offered through faith in Jesus. And let's live as examples of people who have overcome by the word of the testimony of Jesus Christ. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And yes, we need your monthly support. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. I've had people say, well, I don't want to give online. How else can I give? No, go to the website and it'll give you instructions if you want to mail a check. It's all there at the website. Another way to help us is just tell people about Groundworks Ministries. You can share these podcasts with your friends and and send them to your family, post them on your social media. Man, we love it when you do that because it encourages people. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website. Once again, groundworksministries.com.